जय श्रीमन्नारायण। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. In the last episode, we discussed about Sanjaya coming to Dhritarashtra's palace to inform about Bhishma laying down on the bed of arrows. That is when Dhritarashtra starts asking the question. And in order to answer that question, Sanjaya starts narrating from the day one of the war. Sanjaya uvacha दृष्ट्वा tu पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसंगम्य Raja Vachanam Abravit. Essentially, Sanjaya said here, King Duryodhana, on seeing the Pandavas' army in the battlefield, right? At that time, he approached his own guru, that is Dronacharya, Acharya Upasangamya. So, he approached his own guru, that is Dronacharya. So, Dronacharya was the guru for both Pandavas as well as Kauravas. But here, Duryodhana is taking a diplomatic step in a way, and he approached Dronacharya and he's about to say some words towards Dronacharya. Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharyamahatiim Chamom Myudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. So he's addressing Acharya, ho Acharya, right? Duryodhana approached Dronacharya and started saying these kind of words, essentially. So, the commander-in-chief for Pandava's army was Drishtadyumna. He is the son of the Drupada. Drupada and Dronacharya were friends in their past while they were in the school. After some due course of events, they developed some kind of enmity towards each other. So that's the reason why Drupada did a severe penance and asked for a son who can kill Dronacharya, and that person is Drishtadyumna. So here he has been referred as Drupada Putrena, so son of Drupada, right? So he is the one who arranged the Pandavas army in a way that is being visible at that particular time. So Pandavas army chief was Drishtadyumna, who was the son of Drupada. Kauravas army chief at that time, basically the first day, right? Since this is happening on the first day, for the first 10 days, the chief of Kauravas army was Bhishma Pitamaha. So while Duryodhana is addressing his own guru, right? So this Pandavas army chief, the son of Drupada, and he also says, Tavasishyena dhimata. So we discussed about basically Dronacharya was the guru for both Pandavas and Kauravas. Incidentally, Dronacharya was also the guru for son of Drupada, that is Drishtadyumna as well. So even though Dronacharya knew that Drishtadyumna was born to kill him, right? Dronacharya did not shy away from teaching the Dhanurvidya or all the different kinds of vidyas to son of Drupada. So that is a kind of attitude Dronacharya had towards the disciples. Later on, Duryodhana talks about some of the great warriors that are appearing on the sides of the Pandavas army. Atra Sura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yuyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharadaha. So, Duryodhana is seeing some of the people onto the side of Pandava's army, and he saw Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi, right? So he saw Bhima, he picked Arjuna, he also picked Yudhana, he picked Virata, he also picked Drupada, and he told all these people are Maharataha. So basically, there are concepts in Mahabharata where they say Maharatha, Ardharatha. Maharatha means the one who can actually fight alone with 10,000 people at the same time, right? So that is the kind of capability they all have. So they could fight with 10,000 people. He picks out more warriors on the Pandavas side. Drishtaketuschekitanaha Kasirajascha Viryavan Purujit Kunti Bhojascha Saibhyascha Narapungavaha. So there is Drishtaketu, there is Chekitana, and there is a king of the Kasi, and also Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, Shaibhya. So these are all great warriors that he is pointing all of these great warriors to his own Acharya, that is Dronacharya. युधामन्यश्च विक्रान्त उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथाः. So, in this shloka, he is picking out few more other people. Yudhamanyu, he is another great warrior. Uttamauja, and son of Subhadra. Essentially, he wanted to basically uh, show Abhimanyu. So Abhimanyu was the son of Subhadra. And then Draupadeyascha. There are 5 sons of Draupadi. They are also part of the battlefield, right? So all of them, they are basically all of them are warriors, and all of them Duryodhana is calling them as Maharadhaha. So even though some of them are actually kids, right? So basically, son of Subhadra and sons of Draupadi, they are all kids when you compare with Duryodhana, Arjuna, and all other great people in there. But so for Duryodhana, it appears as they're all Maharathis. Draupadi had 5 sons, that's what we said, right? And Prativindhya, Sutasoma, Shatanika, Srutasena, and Shrutakarma. So these were the 5 sons of Draupadi. And addressing them also as Maharathas here. अस्माकन्तु विशिष्टाये तान्निबोधद्विजोत्तम नायका मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थं ब्रवीमि ते. So far, Duryodhana has shown or picked out some of the great warriors onto the Pandava side. Now, Duryodhana is addressing Dronacharya, and he is going to show some of the important names, important people on his own side, that is, onto the Kauravas army. So he is basically wanted to refresh the memory of Dronacharya. Although everybody that Duryodhana is picking out, they are all known to Dronacharya without any issues, but he wanted to basically highlight some of the people, and he's addressing Duryodhana is addressing Dronacharya as Dvijottama, so best of Brahmanas, right? And he's also going to show some of the commanders in chief in his own army, that is Kauravas army. भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च. So Bhavan, so he is addressing Dronacharya himself to start with. So yourself and Bhishma, Karna, Krupacharya, all these people he is basically addressing. So one name, right? So obviously Dronacharya is there in the battlefield. Bhishma was also there in the battlefield. Krupacharya was also there in the battlefield. Ashwatthama is there. Vikarna is there. Saumadatti. Saumadatti is basically Jayadratha, right? Jayadratha is Saumadatti. Saumadatti means son of Somadatta. So he's basically addressing Jayadratha. So all these people are there in the battlefield, but there is one name that he picks out. Duryodhana picks out here, Karnascha, right? Karna is not even there in the battlefield, right? Karna is not there in the battlefield because while Bhishma was heading the army, Bhishma restricted Karna to not fight under his uh, leadership in the battle, right? But here Duryodhana want to remind Karna is also fighting, or Karna is also going to fight from the Kauravas side, right? Even though Karna is not there. But there is one more name, that is Vikarna, also mentioned here. During the Draupadi Vasrapaharanam, Vikarna, even though he was a Kaurava, right? Even though he was the brother of Duryodhana, he basically stood up and he condemned the act of Draupadi Vastrapaharanam. So basically, we can say he was having some kind of moral values at that time. So, in order to please Vikarna, Duryodhana picks out his name, right? So here he started with obviously Dronacharya, Bhishma, Karna, Kripacharya, Ashwatthama, Vikarna, and Jayadratha. Those are the basically characters. Those were the people that he picked out. अन्ये च बहवः सूरा मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः. So after picking out these people, the seven names, right? Duryodhana mentioned, okay, there are many other warriors who determined to give up their lives for my sake. Madardye tyakta jivitaha. So they are all determined to give up their life, right? And they're all experts, right? They're all experts in Nana Shastra Praharanaha. So they're all experts in using multiple different kinds of weapons. Let's call that way, right? Multiple different kinds of weapons that can be used in the battlefield, right? And they're all Sarve Yuddha Visharadaha. They are very much well versed with the battle, and they can kill so many different types of people, and they have all these different kinds of skills across the weaponry, right? Across the weaponry. अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितं पर्याप्तं त्विदमेतेषां बलं भीमाभिरक्षितं. So here basically Duryodhana went through some of the great warriors on to the Pandava side, and he also picked out some of the great warriors onto the Kaurava side. And now in this shloka, he's saying aparyaptam tadasmakam, right? We can say there are two different ways the meaning of this shloka could be. So the people, basically the army who is under the protection of Bhishma, it is saying aparyaptam. So one of the meaning of aparyaptam is unlimited. So the people who are basically the army under the Kaurava side, it's unlimited. That's what he's saying. But onto the Pandava side, and Obviously, Pandava's side, it is being protected, or it is being the commander-in-chief for the Pandavas army was essentially Drishtadyumna. But he is basically, Duryodhana is speaking out, Bhima Bhirakshitam, right? So he thinks, basically Duryodhana thinks the Pandavas army is being protected by Bhishma, and he sees it as a limited protection there. But our acharyas have given another explanation. The forces which are basically under the leadership of Bhishma, they are inadequate. So they are inadequate to fight with Pandavas army, whereas Paryaptam tudame tesham. So this army onto the Kauravas, army onto the Pandavas is completely adequate. It's they have enough capabilities to win against Kauravas, whereas Kauravas army did not have the required capability to win against Pandavas army. अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागमवस्थिताः भीष्ममेवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि. So here Duryodhana is asking all the other warriors to guard Bhishma. Bhishma mema bhirakshantu. So, if we can protect Bhishma, he will essentially win for us, because he knows, basically Duryodhana knows the capability of Bhishma and how great warrior Bhishma was, right? That's the reason why from all the directions, right? Bhishma Bhirakshantu. So you have to make sure, you have to ensure to protect Bhishma at all costs. You have to guard Bhishma at all costs, so that you will be, we will be able to win this battle through Bhishma alone. So through all the directions, Bhishma must be protected, right? Because it is a battlefield and we don't want to have any harm that is need to be, that could be done for Bhishma. The Duryodhana is asking every other person, every other warrior in his army. So as part of this episode, what we discussed is Sanjaya started answering Dhritarashtra's question. Essentially, so far, Duryodhana has given the description of the armies onto the both sides, and he picked out great warriors from both sides. And also, he showed some kind of diplomacy towards his own teacher, right? Because his own disciple is standing on to the other side and he is actually heading the army. Who was that? He was Drupada's son, Drishtadyumna. So he wanted to basically highlight and being diplomatic to his own guru himself. Mangala Parair Madacharya Purogamaih Sarvaischa Purvairacharyaih Satkrutāyastu Mangalam.